Good morning. Today is February 3rd, 2026, and it is 7:16 a.m. Now, I've been doing morning pages for a couple months now, and I've just recently finished filling out my first notebook. And because I'm on a tight budget, and I'm too cheap to go out and buy some paper, so I thought I would make use of what I've already got, and what I've got is a camera. I know it's not exactly the same. Morning pages should really be written out. I guess there's some benefits to going slower and putting your thoughts down on paper that maybe I'll be missing out on if I'm using a camera. But I think it's a good test to see maybe there are some additional benefits to speaking to a camera that I don't get from writing on paper. And it'll be interesting to see if I can actually speak for 10 minutes, because with morning pages, writing is slow enough that I can get my next thoughts in line as I'm writing. There's no break when I'm doing morning pages. It's just smooth flowing through 3 pages. And I guess I'm worried that if I'm speaking, it's using a different part of my brain that is very difficult to untangle from the part of my brain that's trying to think of what am I thinking? That part that's observing my thoughts. And like right now, I'm pausing. I don't know what my next thought is, whereas on paper it would be really easy to just get through it and write whatever comes to mind. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm doing morning pages on camera, and today is day 1. I have no clue what to talk about, so I guess I'll talk about the morning pages themselves. I've noticed that I have a lot more creativity, a lot of ideas coming to me throughout the day that previously I wasn't having. It's almost like before it was a drip, where now it's, turn the faucet on and we have a lot of water pouring out. It's sometimes even annoying because I'm focused on something and I get an idea and I just have to write it down. But I think that's an annoyance that I can get used to and get comfortable with, because I would rather have ideas and creativity than not have any. Another benefit is I've been having dreams again. For a long time, for my whole life, I never really dreamed, or I never remembered them, unless they were nightmares. But now, every day I'm waking up and it's a new dream. Very vivid, and often like stories or movies, sometimes about superpowers, but it's not me I'm dreaming about, like other people as if I am them. So that's really cool. It's a new experience for me, and I think that kind of is combined with the increase in creativity, right? It's my brain coming up with new ideas as they kind of flow through me. So that's cool. Morning pages also help me be more aware of my thoughts. Because I'm doing that daily practice of morning pages, and I am actively looking at my thoughts as I write them down without judging them, it allows me to get a better sense of not necessarily who I am, but just of the thoughts that go through my head. Because the thoughts aren't really me, right? They don't define who I am. Other people can't see my thoughts. I could have very generous, kind thoughts, but if I'm not generous and kind in my actions with other people, then I'm not a generous and kind person, am I? So I think it allows me to see my thoughts and kind of process them in a way that allows me to decide who I want to be in real life. Do I want to be a generous and kind person? And that's valuable because it also identifies kind of false thoughts or thoughts that I think about myself that maybe aren't true to other people. I might think that I'm a good person, but other people don't. And writing all these things down allows me to kind of parse them and figure out who am I really to myself and to other people. It also allows me to figure out my goals, who I want to become, and align with those and actually kind of define the target path forward. So I'm finding there's a lot of clarity in where I want to go in life that I didn't necessarily have before. But there are periods of my life where I was very focused and very driven, and I had a target, but I kind of lost that at some point. Maybe it was because of the world getting worse. I mean, from my perspective, right? We've had things like COVID and everything going on in America. Just a lot of bad stuff happening around the world. War in Ukraine, all of that. And I think the biggest one would be climate change. These are all things that kind of threaten the possibility of my future, the possibility of my dreams. And it's difficult not to be negative about those things, to think positively even in the face of those things. You almost have to be able to shut your brain off and ignore it, but that's difficult to do. I mean, for anyone who's tried meditating, just staying still and allowing your thoughts to kind of pass without exploring them more, that's hard. It's hard to empty your mind. You can spend decades practicing and still you'll never really have it, because that's just how our brains work. So I think that's kind of why I lost sight of the future for myself and lost sight of my goals, because I almost stopped believing it was possible. But morning pages, they give me a goal. They give me a way forward despite all of those things. They allow me to see hope, to have hope, and to be grateful for everything that I do have in life. And although I'm not, better or healed or unblocked fully, it's improved a lot since I've started doing morning pages. I'm hoping I continue to see those benefits when I'm talking to a camera. It feels a little strange, but at the same time, this is a lot easier than I thought it would be. And maybe that's because of the practice I've had with morning pages and kind of letting my brain decide what to say without filtering it. And it's hard. I guess that's another benefit, is you kind of are fighting perfectionism. If you're someone who's always thinking of, the right thing to say or the perfect words to craft a story, morning pages helps you get past that. It helps you understand that it doesn't need to be perfect, and art is art, no matter the quality. Anyway, I think I'm almost at 10 minutes already. I can't believe that. But I'll end off by saying, if you're interested in any of the things that I've said, check out The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. That's where the morning pages come from. You don't even really need to do the other parts of the book if you don't want to. They help, but just do morning pages. Thanks. Bye.